then, that if you're here now, whatever that looks like for you, and you want to be over here, that you might need to change something.
Absolutely. The doing is important.
So we're going to talk about the doing. So what we're here to talk about is how we can manage this situation, which is largely driven by our 21st century lives. We're going to talk about that today. And the way in which we now run and expect ourselves to be all things to all people, largely. So how do we manage this situation going forwards so that most of the time we're in this wonderful sense of balance and flow? What we're going to talk about is how you can take the number one responsibility, which is for yourself. So, raise your hand if you've been on an aeroplane. Have you been on an aeroplane? Everybody been on an aeroplane? So you know that bit where they stand at the front and they do that? Yeah, go on. To be honest, I've been on so many aeroplanes, I generally don't pay attention anymore. That's probably wrong, isn't it? But do you do that as well? Yeah. So there's one bit in it, and you've probably heard this before, where they say, put your oxygen mask on first before you put it on. We have somebody else. Is that familiar to you?
Yeah, very.
Okay. So the reason for this is that in order to have a balanced body, it's called homeostasis in a kind of nursing term, used to be a nurse. You need 5 elements, and one of those is oxygen. So effectively, if you talk to air stewardesses, and I've got a friend who is one, I said, you know, how important is all of this stuff? You know, because I'm not going to die anyway, aren't I? You know, and she said, well, actually, the most important thing about this is the oxygen mask, because she said, effectively, if you are putting your oxygen mask on your dependents first, you are literally giving them the opportunity to watch you die. It's a bit shocking, isn't it? So what we need to be able to do, I think, as mothers, as fathers, as aunties, as grandmothers, as sisters, is take the responsibility for ourselves first, so that we can then fulfil the obligations. Does this make sense to you? Am I making sense?
Absolutely right.
Okay. So it's a good time for you to do this, because it's always a good time for you to do this. But of course, when we live in this very rushed life, it's easy to forget it, isn't it?
You're right.
So what we're here to do today is to revisit and reconnect with ourselves and what we personally need. And we're going to be doing some of that stuff individually. We've got some worksheets to do, and we're doing some of that stuff today. So that you can take a personal look at where you are right here and right now. Does that sound great?
Yes.
Good. The other reason for doing it is that we have a National Health Service that is completely overwhelmed.
That's right.
So the National Health Service treats 1 million people every 36 hours. Raise your hand if that's a surprise to you.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And the majority of appointments that are made at hospital are largely to do with lifestyle diseases. So the way that we are living our 21st lifestyles are affecting our health. So we now have people making hospital appointments with obesity as a problem in and of itself. Yes?
That's true.
So we now know that 1 in 3 adults are overweight or clinically obese in the Western world. And shockingly, 1 in 4 11 to 16-year-olds are clinically obese. 1 in 4. And they're predicting that that generation are going to die before their parents. But the fact is that GPs do not get any nutritional training either. They might get a day. Robin's going to check for me now what the new curriculum is. Not at this moment necessarily. The thing is that if we have an NHS system which is overwhelmed, we not only now are in a position to take responsibility, personal responsibility for ourselves, but would you agree that if we can step forward and take responsibility for ourselves, we're being a really good role model for all of those people
around us, yeah.
Mm-hmm.